Week 9, an hour and a half away. What's up, everybody? We're not counting that stupid game on Thursday. The real Week 9 is an hour and a half away. Welcome to the show. And we got our inactives coming in right now. James Robinson is active. DeAndre Swift is active. Zack Moss is inactive today. Even better news for Deion Jackson. And and there we go. And that's some of it. Oh, and everybody loves Raymond. Well, at least I kind of like Khalif Raymond this week. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about Isaiah Likely, Cordarrelle Patterson, who's going to play today. I'm Adam Azer with Chris Towers and Frank Stanfill. Frank, you look a little different today. How you doing?
Yeah, no Frank today. We got Dan Schneider. And by the way, we'll save this for Monday, but I did listen to the Adam Azer crafted and curated playlist. So the review will be in Monday. You're going to have to wait for that. But I did listen. I had a long commute back and forth Friday. And then I had some Saturday time. So actually ran it through twice. So we'll talk about it. But
no Frank. All right. So I'm going to guess it's just 90s Aerosmith.
No,
basic. No. Deep Blue Something's Breakfast at Tiffany.
All Aerosmith. It's all Aerosmith from all decades.
He really is trying to put me on Aerosmith. The review.
No, you know what? Let's save it till Monday. Alan Lazard is active today. That's a pretty big deal. And let's get to your questions. We welcome everybody. We're live for the next hour and a half. We got a YouTube poll up. So it's about daylight saving time. This is my favorite day of the year. I am super energetic right now. I'm loving it. Got that extra hour. Curtis Samuel or Deion Jackson?
It's Deion Jackson for me. Yep.
Darren Waller.
Clear path to volume, Collie.
Okay, Darren Waller is out. Sorry, I'm going to be updating this stuff here. Matt Milano is out, and I've outlined it. 2 years ago when Matt Milano missed 6 games, the Bills were an absolute train wreck against tight ends. They were terrible. They also don't have Jordan Poyer or Micah Hyde. Obviously, he's out for the year. They don't have Tre'Davious White. They have a very beat up secondary, and Matt Milano, one of their linebackers, has been in the past very good at covering tight ends. So gives a little hope here to Tyler Conklin. DeAndre Carter is playing today for the Chargers. Jeff Wilson's playing, Bradley Chubb is playing, and Alan Lazard is in. This is all according to Ian Rappaport. Also, the inactives are available to everyone right now. So I think we should talk about, there are 6 teams on bye, and as I look at some of my lineups, I can't believe some of the wide receivers I'm starting, but they are Khalif Raymond, Josh Palmer, obviously, that's, the best one, I think. Terrace Marshall. I've got like Mac Hollins. Like, I don't know how far into the bottom of the barrel.
How many 16-team leagues are you in?
No, look, I got a 12-team league where I have Jamar Chase and I need some help. I've got 12. These are all 3 receiver PPR leagues. I got a 12-team league. Yeah. I don't remember all the detail. I got Michael Thomas in a lot of leagues, so anyway, who are some of your favorite other than Josh Palmer? Let's throw DeAndre Carter in there. Raymond with Josh Reynolds out. Any wide receivers. We need wide receivers, Chris. Who are we going to?
Devin Duvernay.
Yes.
I think with Rashad Bateman out, he's not a guarantee, but they've used him out of the backfield a handful of times when Bateman's been out. I think I'd rather play him than Khalif Raymond. Garrett Wilson, I would rather play than any of those guys. He's not 100% rostered.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking a little bit deeper.
I think you could go Terrace Marshall if you're thinking deeper, because I really
Terrace
like
Marshall. I think the expanding role, the skill set, the fact that he was a second round pick last season. I think the issue has been more injury than performance, although obviously he hasn't performed much either. But, I think
he's had one game against the Falcons,
Yeah, but just the fact that he's talented, I think, is what separates him, or at least presumably talented.
Yeah, former second-round pick, starting to build a nice rapport, I think, with Walker. Obviously, it's one game, but you like what you saw if you watch that game. I was watching a little bit of film on that team, so I think it's a nice flyer pick. I mean, I think there's going to be more points than expected in that game.
You know who I might prefer to take a flyer on than Khalif Raymond or some of those guys? Okay. How about DeAndre Carter?
Yeah, I said he should be in the mix too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a kind of electric, but he's a returner guy. But there's an opportunity for a bunch of targets in that Chargers offense against that Falcons defense that let Terrace Marshall have a good game.
All right, let's answer some questions here, and they'll take us through all the subject matter that we need to get to. Tua or Herb or Khalil Herb or Justin Herbert?
I'm going with Tua, actually.
Yep.
I love that.
Kenyon Drake or Christian Kirk in non-PPR? And if Kenyon Drake, would you drop any of those three to add him?
Drake.
I would just start Kirk, personally.
Non-PPR, I think I would go with Drake over Kirk.
I'm still on Kirk here. The whole Drake, that whole Baltimore Ravens running back situation scares me. I just can't predict volume, I feel like, in that, even though it seems like Drake is set up for a big game. I think I lean Kirk there. And then would I drop James Robinson, the Niners D, or Dylan? I think
I'm fine dropping a DST.
Me too. I think I just always lean DST.
Like, I did hang on to the Cowboys DST in a few spots this week, and I hung on to the Eagles in a few other spots last week. But, like, are we really going to start the 49ers against the Chargers next week?
Quite possibly.
Maybe if Keenan Allen and that
and Williams.
But yeah, that's iffy. Cardinals is iffy. I don't know.
I'm fine dropping the 49ers. They've been bad 3 straight weeks. They're not the same. They're not quite what they were.
Yeah, they got injuries.
Okay, how about Swift or Patterson? This is a great question. So Swift's going to play, but he's going to be limited. Patterson's going to play, but we don't have any word on his snaps. I'd go Patterson here, though. What about you guys?
I lean Patterson because I think there's a better chance for volume there.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer to give the guy coming back from injury a week, but the fact that Dan Campbell said we probably gave him 1 too many carries in a game where he had 5 carries is pretty alarming.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Would you drop Darrell Henderson or James Robinson?
I think I'd drop
his bye next week, just to throw that out there.
I still think I'd drop Robinson there.
I think I'd drop Henderson. It sounds like they want to get Cam Akers back involved.
It really does. And I think people should pick Cam Akers up. He's 56% roster. Look, it's not a good situation for running backs, but
the worst in the league.
Yeah, right. And
in terms of fantasy points.
Kyren Williams is probably back next week, and that's going to be their passing downs guy in theory. So it's not you don't have to run to get him, but if you have a DST, a second DST or something like that, you could drop somebody for him. Non-PPR, Chris Godwin or Josh Palmer?
I still lean Godwin.
Chris Godwin, yeah.
Yeah, even non-PPR.
Half PPR, Romeo. All right, so I'm off Romeo Doubs now with Lazard back. I don't know how you guys feel. Ooh, Damian Harris inactive. That's not a huge surprise. Ramondre.
No, I've got Rondale Moore as a top 20 wide receiver this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I would sit Dobbs just as a blanket statement personally.
Yeah, he's like 30 for me, which this week is not saying much.
AJ Dillon or Kenyon Drake?
Kenyon Drake. Yeah.
Justin Fields or Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
Okay. Yeah, Justin Herbert. I was waiting for Isaiah. This one's
tough.
I think it won't be tough for you guys. It's a little tough for me because I think Ingram's a good start this week. Good matchup. Great matchup, actually, for Ingram, and he's been solid. So I don't want to overlook him, but I assume you guys are going to go Likely?
Likely's a top 5 wide receiver or tight end for me.
I'm going to go Likely, but I do agree, Adam, with the stance. I mean, Ingram played 100% of the snaps last week for the first time. So he's obviously trending up. So it's closer than you would think, but Likely might be the number 1 option in that passing game. It's him or Duvernay for this game.
Like that's if Andrews was for sure out, I think Likely would be my number 2 tight end.
I don't hate it.
Not Dallas Goedert not playing. And this is an especially bad. Well, Dallas Goedert already played.
Yeah.
This is an especially bad week for tight end. I have Travis Kelce projected for 18.5 PPR points. The number 2 tight end is projected for 11.
Yeah.
So
who's that?
Gerald Everett's number 2 in the projections, not including Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
But Likely would probably be number 2 if I knew Andrews was out.
Yeah, I mean, look, Andrews is doubtful. I don't know the last time I saw a doubtful player play, but it would be nice if he were just straight up out. Same with Gus Edwards. They're both doubtful.
I think the only tight ends that I wouldn't start ahead of Kyle or Isaiah the only tight ends that I wouldn't bench for Isaiah Likely, even with Andrews doubtful instead of out, are Kelce, Pitts, and Everett. I would start Likely over everyone else.
You'd start Pitts over him?
Just doing it. Just keeping it there. I'm not going to answer any Kyle Pitts questions. I'm just doing it.
Half PPR, Antonio Gibson or Josh Palmer, and Pitts are Likely. I'll go Likely.
Palmer.
I'll go Gibbs.
Gibson's a top 12 running back for me. I think McKissic out is huge
With
for
McKissic
him.
out, yeah.
Really? Because McKissic has like 3 catches in his last 3 games.
But he's still like their number one running back in passing situations. Over the past 3 games, he's played, I think it's like 60% of the passing down snaps. So I think like Gibson's not going to get all of that, but it wouldn't surprise me if he played 65% of the snaps today.
Okay. I don't know what that means for Gibson, but okay. Yeah,
I think they could put up points too, the Commanders, in that game. I think they might even win that game.
They might win that game. Yeah, they're rolling a little bit right now. Okay, some more questions here. By the way, hit the like button. Let's take a look at our poll.
Yeah, hit that like button.
What's our YouTube poll today?
Thomas, what'd you get us today on the poll?
He's got daylight savings time versus standard time. Standard time all year, daylight savings time all year, switch back and forth.
Obviously standard all year. No. You know, daylight savings. What's good about daylight savings besides this one time where you get the extra hour and you're going to lose the hour the next time? So it evens out anyway.
Well, what's the point of daylight savings time?
It was supposed to be for like farmers, right? Back in the day.
I have an article queued up on my phone. I hope it's still there. I didn't get a chance.
Can I give you guys an Azer take?
Oh, I love a good Azer take. Love a good Azer take in the morning.
Continue reading. I don't know
we
why.
We don't need time zones. Let's get rid of time zones altogether.
How would that work, though?
Or actually, that's the trolley version of the take. My actual take is 2 time zones in the United States. We don't need 4 time zones. It's a connected world. We don't need one coast to be 3 hours behind. We can figure this out. We don't need all these time zones. We don't need daylight savings time. The whole thing's antiquated. Like you said, it's for farmers. I'm not a farmer. Most people are not farmers. We can get rid of it.
We got a lot. We could have farmers listening on the show.
Well, wasn't it for like? Would you do like military time then? Is that what you would do, Chris? You don't have time zones.
Well, I'm saying you got an east and a west time zone.
Well, okay,
we don't need mountain. We don't need central. It's too much. There's too much.
I don't think it's for farmers. I think it's for. I think it's to save energy costs, to have more sunlight. So that was the original idea. Apparently, Ben Franklin, I actually read that earlier this week. Ben Franklin came up with the idea when he was in Paris in the 1700s. But I think it's to save money on energy costs, to give more daylight. I heard it was for school buses, so kids aren't standing at like a dark spot waiting for school buses. But I don't know.
Instead, it's dark when they're walking home from school at 3 p.m.
Yeah, I hate that.
Moving to New York from South Florida, that first winter where it's dark at 4 o'clock every day,
that's depressing.
Just killed me.
It's very depressing.
Oh my god,
it's very
what
depressing.
Football team is that I'm wearing? I'm wearing my St. Jude football team from the Jaguars. Yeah. All right, Kenyon Drake or Deion Jackson?
Deion Jackson.
Yep, Jackson.
Khalil Herbert or Cordero Patterson?
I'm gonna go Patterson.
I would go Herbert.
Patterson for me.
Tua or Herbert?
Tua.
Tua.
How about this? The Dolphins have a wide receiver on pace for almost 2,000 yards and another one on pace for 1,500 yards.
Wow.
Pretty sweet.
That's incredible.
I bet if you took Waddle's numbers in just the Tua games, they're even better, I would bet.
Yeah, I think they are 1 and 2 in yards per route run in just the games that Tua's played.
Sit one of these guys, Pittman, Rondale Moore, or A.J. Dillon.
Dillon's easy.
Yeah, especially PPR. Let's see. How about with Swift being questionable and having a limited role, would you start Brian Robinson or Khalil Herbert over DeAndre Swift?
Herbert's close. I think I would still go with Swift, but it's close between the two of them.
I'm still swinging for the upside of Swift here.
Okay.
I don't love Herbert. I feel like a lot of people are just like penciling him in as an RB2, and
no,
I don't know. Like he's still in the small side of a platoon. Like even if he has a bigger role since they made the switch to the hot hand, but like Montgomery played like 65% of the snaps last week.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you. I
don't think either of them, even this week, Montgomery's barely an RB2 for me, and Khalil Herbert's like RB25.
So I ended up starting both of these guys, but I was going back and forth because I had a flex spot I forgot I had Taysom Hill at tight end and Isaiah Likely, so I took Hill out of the lineup. I put Likely at tight end, and then I moved Drake to flex. But I actually started David Montgomery over Kenyon Drake. And Montgomery's got 15 carries in 3 straight games.
Mm-hmm.
They lost.
Still getting all passing situations.
All the passing. He's been more of the goal line back than Herbert. And the Dolphins' run defense has been pretty shoddy lately. and they lost by 20-something points last week, right? I mean, they lost by 3 scores, and they still ran the ball a ton. The Ravens are toward the bottom of the NFL in running back carries. Drake feels like a little bit of a trap to me. So I ended up starting them both, but I did originally go with Drake, and I moved Montgomery ahead of him. So I'm not running away from Montgomery, I guess, because they're still so committed to getting him carries. I just wish he were better.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. Would you guys go Drake or Montgomery?
I would still go Drake.
Yeah.
It's
I would
close,
go with
though.
Montgomery over Drake.
Let's pick 2 in PPR: Hardman, Renfro, and Raymond.
Oh, wow. I think the Raiders can get the offense going, so I kind of like Renfro here.
I would say Raymond.
Oh, we got to do 2. We got to do 2.
He said not to laugh.
Renfro and Raymond for me.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. You'd go Hardman and Renfro, Chris?
Yep.
Half PPR, one of these guys, Swift, Pittman, or Tony?
Pittman for sure.
All right, listen, I want to take a little bit of a break here. I got something for the food snob.
Now I'm known as. Am I just accepting this moniker, the food snob? That's who I am. Just because David A said it in the chat one time, you put it up there. Now I'm the food snob.
He's 100% right. So you're not only a food snob. You're a wannabe Italian.
That is true. That part is true.
It's like prosciutto and bruschetta. You like take the last syllable off. I got this
mozzarella.
Yeah,
that's mutts.
Exactly. So I got this pizza last night. I want to know what you think, okay? I brought my pizza here. I brought my lunch. This is burrata.
Yep.
Looks like tomato on top there. And prosciutto and pesto. So it's pesto, burrata.
That's a great slice right there.
Right? This is a great
That's
slice.
a great slice right there.
Look, I love
hell of a slice.
Barat, as Dan would say, but too wet for pizza.
I'm trying to think if I agree with that because I had it.
But it doesn't bother me.
It's cold. The one thing I don't like about it is the cold versus hot. Like whenever I like, what's that great pizza place in Brooklyn? I think Action Bronson put it on the map. Do you know this place, Chris? No, I think it's La Industry. Have you been to there?
No, I haven't been there.
So I went there for the first time. My friend took me for during a Mets game this summer, and one of their big slices is the burrata slice, and it's an amazing flavor combination. But it is weird to have like the cold on the hot, I think.
Oh, okay. So they put the burrata on after.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be my concern. Is if you put it on while it's cooking, it's just gonna soak the crust.
Producer Tom has actually brought up a great point, so I need to put it on the show. Thank you, Thomas. He said, "Does Azer actually know who Action Bronson is?"
No.
20% chance.
There's a 0%.
0% chance he's so famous now.
Yeah.
No shot. No shot at him.
No, not a shot.
Oh man. He's a famous rapper, and he's also done like a show.
He's really not a famous rapper.
Yeah,
he's
I don't know what he is.
Food guy.
Yeah, he's now a famous
guy who likes food.
Yeah.
Right, well, let's get
and also raps.
Let's get
and
back
occasionally
to
raps on the side.
Who would you guys start? or rank them? Christian Watson, Robbie Anderson, Jeff Wilson, and non-PPR.
Oh,
week 9, baby.
This is week 9. This is week 9 written all over it. Alpha.
Watson, Wilson. I don't think Wilson's going to have much of a role.
I don't think any of these guys are.
I don't either think. I think I'm going Wilson first for the upside of just potential. I don't want to say it out loud, but if he gets potential, injury to Mostert or something. I don't know. I just don't see any upside for the other two.
I go Wilson, Watson, Anderson because you never know. Could he get a 1-yard touchdown?
Right.
I think could be.
How about this? I'm starting Sony Michel and Eno Benjamin in one.
Oh man,
and I'm starting Sony Michel in 2 different leagues.
No,
you can't make fun of me for my wide receivers.
Sure, I can. There's actually lots of good wide receivers in the world. There's 7 good running backs this week.
Oh no, running backs. There's a lot of RB2s. A lot of questions.
Deion Jackson types.
Deion Jackson I like better than the big group of.
I agree.
Michael Carter and
yes, unfortunately,
but Michael Carter's a borderline top 20 running back for me this week. Let's not say running back's good. Running back's not deep.
Well, yeah, I guess if Romeo Dobbs is your wide receiver 30, though, that's got to say something about wide receiver. All right, how are we ranking these guys? PPR: Deion, Gabe Davis, Michael Pittman.
Pittman would be last for me.
And who would be in second?
No. I'm actually going Davis.
I rank them Davis, Jackson, Pittman.
I would go Pittman, Davis, Jackson for me.
I'm thinking maybe I
For
should just
full PPR.
off for a minute so I can eat my pizza here.
No.
All right, let's go with.
No one wants to watch you eat live on air, Adam.
Yeah, no, I know that.
And
Montgomery,
I don't feel like being the host, so you gotta hang.
I can read them. I'll just turn my video off.
There's a reason you won best male host of the year.
Watch.
It's not for eating pizza on the stream.
I'm gonna stop my camera. Okay. Well, see, all right. So you guys can hear me, right?
This is terrible.
This is terrible. Why would he do this?
Terrible product.
Montgomery or Raymond?
Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery for sure in that spot.
Kirk, Olave, Godwin, Davis, McLaurin.
Half
Give me three.
PPR.
Godwin, Olave, and Davis.
I'm gonna go Olave, Godwin. Those two lock in. Those are your volume plays. I'm gonna go McLaurin as my third. I love the connection with Heineke.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's fair.
He throws it to him, but
All the time.
He was like wide receiver 27 or something, and last season. It's not.
Yeah, it's not a huge jump, but
look,
enough.
I think McLaurin's a
like
better bet for targets than Davis, but Davis is, I think, more upside.
Yeah, that's fair. I always think Davis is fair to put in.
Whoa,
John.
What? Fine. As long as you hit like, I don't.
Why did you put this up, Adam?
Shouts
We usually
to my
filter.
guy, John.
I like you, John. Thank you. I appreciate it.
The
but
only
Adam
one who's
usually
not turning his camera off.
Yeah, exactly. Adam usually filters these comments and only puts the ones that are put him in a positive light. Put me in a negative light. Yes, you have. Remember the time you put that one up that was a compliment to me? You're like, oops, I did that by mistake. You remember that.
Palmer, Deion Jackson, or Antonio Gibson, half PPR?
Palmer.
I'm
for
going
me.
Gibson.
Okay.
You're big on Gibson this week, and I don't blame
Love
it. I
Gibson.
think they're going to score a lot, so I'm in on that.
Okay, we got Paris, Campbell, Khalif, see, look at this. Pick two of this group here, and I'm going to go with
Carter,
Khalif Raymond, and DeAndre Carter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carter and Raymond. Yep. It's your best
Yeah,
bet.
I think that's fine.
All right, who are we benching? Mixon, Ken Walker, Mostert, or Stevenson?
Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert for sure out
But
of this
he's
one.
a top 15 running back for me.
Still is, but the
Would
rest
you
of those
bench-
guys are top 10.
Would you bench Pittman for Palmer?
No.
No, it's close. Pittman is one that I have in my top 20, and I don't feel good about it.
He's
I
going to
would
get force-fed targets, though. Full PPR. Like, he'll end this day. He'll end this day with 10 targets, will he not? They have no one else to go to on that offense.
I would bench him for Palmer.
I think he had – what did he have last week with? I think he had 8 catches last week and over –
He had 7 catches for 53
catches.
yards on 9 targets last week. He
Right.
had 6 for 58 on 9 targets.
That's about what I
before.
expect this week. Right, yeah. But in
Yeah.
a PPR, that's pretty safe. That's a decent floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I could just see that offense being a complete disaster this week. But, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Look, I have him
Possible.
as a top 20 wide receiver. I just
I'd start
don't feel great about
I'd start him over Duvernay.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. Who are we benching here? Metcalf, Juju, or Palmer? I'm going to bench DK Metcalf.
It's either Palmer or Metcalf for me. I'm definitely not Juju. Damn, that's tough. I'll bet I'm going to go Metcalf too. The bench. I would play Palmer over Metcalf.
It is crazy to start Palmer over Metcalf. This might be the only team, the only opponent that I would bench DK Metcalf for Palmer here.
I'm sitting Palmer.
Yeah. I think
get
that's probably maybe the smarter thing to do. I'm going to be bold and bench DK Metcalf.
Same.
Would you start Likely, Montgomery, or Pittman in PPR? My oh my.
That's tough.
Pittman.
It's either Pittman or Likely for me. I'm going to lean Pittman
Yeah.
for full PPR.
Hurst or Likely? We'll go with Likely there.
Likely.
Gibson or Deion Jackson?
Gibson.
What do you think, Dan?
Gibson or Deion Jackson. See, I think there's more volume for sure with Jackson. There is the chance, though, that offense just doesn't move at all. I don't think the receptions and the targets are going to be the same as they were that first game with a lot of checkdowns from Ryan. I'll lean Gibson for the upside.
I really am struggling with this one here. All right.
Definitely more upside with Gibson.
Davis or Deontay Foreman? Gabe Davis or Deontay Foreman?
Oh, wow. That's like this is like the dilemma here. You have the volume with Foreman, but it's bad volume. And then you have just the pure upside of Gabe Davis. I'm going to go Foreman because I always tend to lean toward the volume. And I just think there's a chance the Jets can do a good job really limiting the Bills today, especially in the deep game. So I'll go Foreman.
I would go Foreman as well.
Okay. Mariota.
It's always a hard one when you're dealing with such a high variance player like Gabe Davis.
Yep.
Because it's just like
we could say to bench him.
Yeah, like he's the guy who my projections say he's wide receiver 28, and then I always move up into the teens just because you can't really project a guy with that kind of variance.
Yep.
Go with Justin Fields over Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Fields.
Go with Antonio Gibson over DeAndre Swift. I'm going to go with MVS over Romeo Doubs.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Doubs.
Look for other players on your wire. Look for any of the guys we've mentioned already.
Ravens against the Saints or Seattle against Arizona?
Ooh.
I think the Ravens have been very good as a DST.
They're on the road, though, in that dome.
Yeah, it's not Drew Brees in there.
I know. Andy Dalton's playing good football. He's a 9-4 touchdown interception ratio.
That's fair, but he also did have 2 pick sixes 2 weeks ago.
He did. Okay. And it's Dalton, and it is Andy Dalton, so the Ravens are the play.
I would go with the Ravens.
Seattle is actually a DST I picked up. I'm starting them in 2 leagues, I think. So it's not an easy one. I'll go with the Ravens, but all right, 2 wide receivers, Kirk, DJ Moore, Rondale Moore.
I have DJ Moore ranked lowest of this group.
Oh. I'm going to go Kirk and DJ Moore.
Me too, Kirk and DJ.
Deion Jackson.
I don't love the matchup for DJ, but I like the rapport he's built with Walker, so I'm in on DJ.
Ooh, how about Lazard or Likely?
That's a tougher one. I'm going to go Lazard. I like the matchup a lot there.
I think I would go with Lazard, yeah.
Palmer or Hardman?
If you can't play Lazard against the Detroit Lions, you can't play him at all, is my take.
I play Lazard every week. He's the clear.
I know. I agree. I do like him too.
Look, I'm a little worried about the injury, but he's obviously Aaron Rodgers' best friend.
Especially in the red zone.
Yeah, Palmer over Hardman.
Yep. Stream Vikings. I don't love that on the road. I don't love that stream at all.
Patterson and Gus going forward, I'd go Patterson.
Yeah, Patterson.
I would think Patterson, yeah.
Especially since Gus is hurt now.
Chris, you have to answer this, and only Chris.
Okay.
Pitts or Likely?
Pitts.
All right, I'd go Likely. How about you?
I'd go Pitts. I'm on the Pitt. I'm on the very similar wavelength to Chris in the sense that I'm just not benching Pitts. Tight ends don't score enough consistently outside of like Kelsey and Andrews for me to be like, oh man, if I bench, like if I get another 3 points out of the other, I just don't see the upside to benching Pitts, knowing he can.
Yeah, that's true. I think for almost all tight ends, I will say Likely does have
a floor. Does he?
I don't know. Like, that's the thing is we don't know what his floor is.
Right.
You know, this could be a game where the Ravens throw the ball 15 times.
Exactly. And I feel like the only reason to bench Pitts is if you're getting a high floor option instead of him, right? And who are those guys?
Well,
Goddard.
Pitts has shown he has the lowest floor of basically any tight end. I mean, he's got.
But there's guys who are similar. I think there's guys similar on that floor, though, right? Like, the guys you're considering putting in over him, right? It would be like Likely, right? Or a Hurst, let's say Aiden Hurst.
I would start all of those guys. I would start Likely, Ingram, and Hurts over Pitts. Kyle Pitts has 4 games out of 7 with fewer than 4 points in PPR. I mean, that's insane. He has 5 games with 25 or fewer yards. So he has as low of a floor as any tight end you're going to find.
But do any of the guys you mentioned have the ceiling that he has? And it's not even that high of a ceiling, but he has at least a ceiling that he's proven. I mean,
twice. Hayden Hurst has no ceiling. Well, no. Sorry, he has a 7-foot ceiling. I guess would be the way to put it. Because like his best game, he does have a 17-point game, but like Kyle Pitts is a guy who can get 17 points without a touchdown. I think that's the way to look at it. Is what can they? Sure. You don't think he could have a 6-catch, 111 yard, 110 yard game? He could absolutely
did that earlier in the year.
But he just doesn't get that many targets. They're facing the worst run defense in the NFL.
Hayden Hurst doesn't get that many targets.
No, well, listen, we can't really judge. No, it's fine if you want to start Pitts over Hayden Hurst, but we can't really judge Hayden Hurst because this is game 2 without Jamar Chase, you know?
Right.
So and he had 4 targets in game 1.
They had a terrible game last week. They could get things going. I'm not really here to argue about Hurst versus Pitts, but I think Likely and Ingram over Pitts is an easy call for me. I see this could be a 22 pass attempt game for Mariota. A lot of running. They got Patterson back this week. And again, you're talking about 2 good games this year, 3 good games this year for Pitts, and 4 games out of 7 with fewer than 4 PPR points. Yep. He's got a lower ceiling than lower floor than basically any tight end. It's crazy.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a little bit of break from that to reset here. It is 12:02 p.m. Eastern. It is feeling like 1:02 p.m. That's why I want to eat this pizza, because it's really it's very much lunchtime for me. But I'll wait another hour. We'll update you on the big news. Okay, so let's go through the big news here. Let's start with DeAndre Swift. First of all, Chris, where do you have Jamal Williams ranked, and where do you have DeAndre Swift ranked? Because Swift's going to play, but he's going to be limited.
Jamal Williams is, I believe, RB25, and DeAndre Swift is Jamal Williams RB24, DeAndre Swift RB17. I think you could.
Whoa! You're starting Swift ahead of Jamal Williams?
Yes.
Whoa!
Wow. Yeah. And this is the guy that you said was the worst running back in the NFL like 3 weeks ago.
He's going to be a running back.
He does. Jamal Williams has a higher floor, but basically the thing with Jamal Williams is, if he doesn't get into the end zone, there's very little value there. Like
what about Swift?
Right. No, I agree with that. I just think Swift, even with like I'm expecting like 5 carries and 5 targets like he had last week. He's the kind of guy who can absolutely put up 2 touchdowns with 10 touches. Like
he's just the guy
that
who doesn't have the goal line role is more likely to score than the guy.
I don't necessarily know if he doesn't have the goal line role.
I mean,
I think Jamal Williams is more likely to get the next carry at the goal line. But I think the way they're likely to use DeAndre Swift is they're likely to prioritize using him in situations where the touches are most valuable. And last week, how long was the touchdown catch that he had last week? It was a very short one.
Yeah, within 10 yards.
Yeah. So I think they're still going to make sure that they use him in that range. But yes, Williams has a goal line role.
DeAndre Swift he's one tweak away from being out of the game.
Sure, that's fair.
For a guy, right, okay. All right, look, difference of opinion, no problem. Dan, Isaiah Likely, Chris is very high on him. Chris has him top 5 guy. How about you?
Among tight ends, yeah, I would put him probably inside that top 5. I just feel like when you're looking for upside and when you're looking for what are the type of players who belong in the top 5 at tight ends, volume has to be atop the list. And he, in my mind, could be the number 1 cog in that pass game. It's him or Duvernay. And it could be a combination of both. So I don't love the matchup. I really don't. But I don't think they're going to score that much. But I think Likely will kind of be the cog in that passing game. Maybe something like 60 yards, 6 receptions.
And I think Duvernay's just not that guy. Like,
right, he's just not. Yeah, he's not capable. Right, that's fair.
Damian Harris is out, so of course you're starting Stevenson, but he could easily be RB1 this week. He's that involved, that good. So we've got a lot of Christian Kirk questions. I just want to say Christian Kirk has faced in his last 3 games, really in his last 4 games, he's faced all 4 teams are like top 8 against wide receivers. Whether or not you buy, I don't really buy it with the Giants. And that was his best game. Houston, Colts, Giants, Broncos. He's had brutal matchups. His next 5 games, Christian Kirk's next 5 games are against Las Vegas today. They're actually okay against wide receivers. They're 18th. Then the Chiefs are 30th. The Ravens are 29th. The Lions are 28th. And the Titans are 27th. Those are the next 5 games for Christian Kirk. I think you should play him this week, and I think you can buy low on him. I think you should buy low on him. It's got to be low, but people are very down on him. So
I think he's a decent wide receiver too.
Yeah, that's what
right this week and moving forward. I do worry that he, like, the first 3 games made us think that he was something that he's not. And maybe that's just true of the entire Jaguars offense. Trevor Lawrence needs to play a lot better than he has lately, but I think he's in the wide receiver 2 conversation for sure.
All right, Jonathan Taylor is out. Deion Jackson, where'd you rank Deion Jackson, Chris?
I believe he's RB15 for me.
Okay. Is Devontae Adams, does he bounce back today? I'd have to think so. He was clearly sick last week. He was still on the injury report with an illness this week. That's gone. So don't even hesitate. Start Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm. I like your flu game narrative. I came around to it late in the week, Adam. Yes. Even to the point where I'm like wagering some shekels on the Raiders today. I like the Raiders to win that game coming off the flu. Yeah, they're good now. What'd you say?
They're not underdogs, are they?
No, but it's basically a pick 'em. They're -1.
Okay. Ryan wants us to pick one: Swift, Jamal Williams, or Deion Jackson. I'm going.
Deion Jackson ranked high.
I'm on Jamal Williams.
Yeah. Okay. 2 Jamals and a Deion Jackson there.
You're Jamal too?
I am Jamal.
Yep.
I don't really know what to expect from Deion Jackson. It's not I wish it were a better matchup.
Same.
But I like the fact that Zach Moss is inactive. I think Jackson's going to get a ton of work. Half PPR, running back in a flex. Montgomery, Deion Jackson, Lazard, Rondale Moore. This one's easy for me.
Deion Jackson and Rondale Moore for me.
I'm definitely Rondale Moore from the receiver side of it. I'm just trying to.
Over Lazard?
Yeah, I really like Rondale Moore.
What do you
Rondale Moore has, I think, 8 or more catches or 8 catches
Target.
in three of his last 4?
Yep.
Something like that?
6,
Well,
I think.
yeah.
Right.
He just had a game against the Seahawks, and I think he was 6 catches for 50 yards, something like that, right?
Yeah, on 10 targets, yeah.
But
that was without DeAndre Hopkins. I think this offense
Right.
is just a lot better with DeAndre Hopkins. I think
Actually, it helps him. Yeah.
But DeAndre Hopkins is a 35% target to 34%.
Right, and Rondale Moore still had 8 targets for 92 yards last week.
Yeah, the 92 yards are the part I don't buy. I mean, a lot of it was after the catch. Now, the Seahawks give up a ton of yak. So I do like Rondale Moore, but I'm not sitting Lazard. But all right, so Deion Jackson and Lazard for me. Deion Jackson and Moore.
Who do you think has more games with, let's say, 45 or more yards? Alan Lazard or Rondale Moore, who missed the first 3 games of the season?
Well, I mean, I'm going to guess it's Rondale Moore, but I would have guessed Lazard.
They're tied.
I would have guessed Lazard if you. Oh, all right.
That's a classic Azer question right there.
So it's actually no. Sorry, did I say? Yeah, okay. 40 more than 45 yards. If it's 45 or more, then it's
a trap. It's a trap.
Is definitely trending in the right direction. He left last week with an injury.
Yeah.
Look, Aaron Rodgers said it. There's 2 guys that he can trust: Aaron Jones and Alan Lazard. So, and he's playing the freaking Lions. Like, the Lions are one of the worst defensive teams in football. The Seahawks are not. They've been a lot better. All right.
The Lions are the worst defensive team in football.
They're the worst?
I think by basically every measure, yeah.
All right, I believe that.
They're allowing 32
Palmer.
points per game.
Who are you starting out of these 3? Palmer, Kirk, or Lazard? Oh, this is torture.
Sit Lazard.
Now you got to start one, though.
I believe I have Kirk ranked ahead of Palmer.
It's tough for me. I lean Kirk. It's close.
All right. I'm just trying to see if we have some more breaking news. We don't.
It should be around that time.
Yep, Kirk ahead of Palmer.
DeAndre Swift, Cordero Patterson, Garrett Wilson, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Give me 2.
Yeah.
Patterson is number 1 for me.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect from Cordero or Patterson. They've always talked, going back to the end of last season, we need to be careful with his touches. We need to be careful with how we use him. He's already gotten hurt. It's his first game back. I'm trying to avoid him if I can. He's like 28 for me at running back. So I do have Swift and CH ranked just ahead of him.
Yeah, he's tough. I agree. I think he's going to have the most carries of all these running backs, though.
Yeah, I think I might just go with Garrett Wilson.
I'm definitely going Garrett Wilson.
I think I'd go with Swift and Wilson, but I don't feel good about it.
I would go Wilson for sure. Then they're all going to me, be in committees for this week. I think for me, the answer is CEH because I think that they're going to score more points, the Chiefs. It's 12.5-point favorite. So I'm going to go CEH there as my second.
I dropped Heineke for Trevor Lawrence. Was that the right move?
No.
Yes.
I think it's fine, yeah.
Why, yes. Why is it a snap yes?
I have them ranked right next to each other this week.
I like Lawrence better. I mean, he
so
then it's not a snap yes then. Wait, sorry, I misread this. I thought he meant he dropped Lawrence for Heineke. Okay, never mind. Yes, that's the right move.
Okay, good. I don't want to have to explain the whole thing. I think Lawrence.
No, you don't have to explain the whole thing. Lawrence is a much better quarterback.
Like Heineke's a decent fantasy quarterback, though.
Because he runs a little.
Run.
Yeah. Lawrence was supposed to run, and he just doesn't run.
Yeah, Lawrence
so disappointing. Run. He ran so much at Clemson, and he doesn't run anymore. It's so disappointing.
He was like a 350-ish yard rusher last year.
And this year it's been such a different experience with him. I don't know what's. I think it's
got
Doug
2 games
Peterson.
with more than 15 yards.
That's terrible for what he did at Clemson. That's really surprising.
I want to tell you, I'm facing Chris in the Superflex League today.
Okay.
Oil of Olave.
The worst team name ever. Go on.
I want to tell you my two Superflexes. One is Trevor Lawrence. One is Josh Palmer.
Well, there you go. You're saying that like it's a bad thing. That's a good thing.
I mean, you'd like to start a quarterback, wouldn't you?
I have to. Oh my god, you should see my situation in some of these leagues. I'm starting like Caleb Huntley, Taylor Heineke. I'm looking at it right now.
I'm starting Eno Benjamin, Robert Woods, and Curtis Samuel in that league.
It is an ugly week. How did it get this way? It's only week 9.
You might be the only team. All right, that's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 1-7, and I'm projected to lose to Adam. We're going up against each other, I think, in 2 leagues. I think the other one I'm projected to win.
Is that the league that Byron is 0-8 in? There's an 0-8 league. There's an 0-8 Byron sighting.
I
can't call him Byron now that I know about this.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he's 0-8 in. I think it's that one. Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the IDP league though.
Oh yeah.
I just made a blockbuster trade. I gave him
what was it?
Stafford and McCaffrey.
Okay.
For Aaron Jones and Tom Brady.
No, he's 4-4 in that one.
Is that redraft, Adam?
Yeah.
PPR.
Yeah.
6-point passing. So you got Brady and who?
Aaron Jones. I gave up McCaffrey.
Kind of like that deal for you a lot.
Oh, it's the magazine league. That's the one.
That's a rough one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 3-5 in that league. I really need a win, and I just needed a running back so desperately.
Kind of like that league, that trade a lot, even without
Aaron Jones to go off against. The
yeah.
Lions here. All right, we got
wide receivers are awful in that 0-8 league. He's starting Dobbs, Mooney, and Wilson.
Oh,
Dobbs, Mooney, and Wilson.
Yeah.
They're better than some of mine.
That is true. Yeah, I have like Marcus Valdez-Scantling in one of these leagues.
Drake, Jamal Williams, and a Cardinals running back. We haven't talked about the Cardinals running backs. James Conner expected to play.
I'm ranking James Conner as like a low-end RB2. Eno Benjamin would really prefer not to use him. He's like RB 37. Adam, come on. I'm not super excited about Conner, but if he's active, you hope he gets enough of a passing game role and specifically the goal line carries to be worth using. But I think I would start him over Williams.
It'd be Williams for me.
Chris, I am not going to take. Oh no!
What?
I didn't even see this video about Alvin Kamara. The video came out.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh, is he going to get suspended now?
Not this year. Not this year.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's
no way.
I mean, he'd probably if it's as bad as he might deserve it. I'm not like lamenting that. It's just a headache that we don't need here. But bad for the guy. No, I mean, I feel bad. If he punched the guy, then he should be suspended.
Yeah.
If you assaulted the guy, then you're.
Well, he probably will be. It's just a matter of when. I don't think it'll be for this season.
I haven't seen the video.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. I never like to watch those.
Like, this is our problem. This is not our problem. I didn't mean that, but
no, I know.
You're
good, Adam.
Yeah, I didn't want to be like, that other stuff going on. Anyway, I'm not going to be told not to eat my pizza on the air.
I never told you that for the record. I think you should eat your pizza if you want to eat your pizza.
For the guy who's got a bag of trash in the background that he has.
That is not a bag of trash. It is, I believe, pillows or something. Because I'm still not 100% moved in. I'm mostly moved in. You can see my nice shelves behind me, but it's, my wife and I both got sick like a week after we moved in. So that derailed the whole move-in process. And, it just,
okay.
It's a process, Adam. Please don't shame me for my
I'm a very
trash bag full of pillows. Now I'm going to move it. Now I'm going to have to.
You made him feel self-conscious, Adam. Come on.
All right. Ingram or Likely, and Lockett or DJ Moore. I'm the only person in the world saying Ingram over Likely. I think you guys are going to say Likely.
Likely, yeah.
Likely.
Lockett or Moore.
That one's tougher.
Yeah, I'm going Lockett.
Lockett as well. I love that pass offense, that Seahawks pass offense.
Tight end and flex here. Ertz, Likely. Likely.
Yep.
And then flex. Ertz, Duvernay, James Conner, Kenyon Drake.
I'm going Conner.
I'm going Drake.
But I don't like it.
Conner stinks.
The Drake has been so bad.
Should we pick up Beckham with the recent news? Jay Glazer just tweeted that he should be medically cleared or something like that by the end of the week.
Oh,
I don't know. There's a big difference between like medically cleared and ready to play.
Right.
Let me see what he said. So I don't.
Because I think last year he was
fully cleared by the end of the week.
He was fully cleared during training camp and then didn't play, I think, until week 3. So I don't know. My expectations for Odell Beckham are pretty low. 2 torn ACLs in the span of 15 months.
Yeah.
We don't know where he's going to sign. He's got to get up to speed, probably learn a new playbook. It seems unlikely that he's going to make much of an impact. I mean, even last year with the Rams, it's not like he was a must-start guy.
No, I'm not. I'd much rather have Kadarius Toney. I'd much rather have MVS. Let's see some other. Oh, I'd rather have Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's on a bye this week, and I just picked him up to stash him. I think
that's fine.
Pretty low expectations for Beckham.
Yep.
Unless he goes to the Giants, then he's going to be amazing when we win the Super Bowl. All right, pick a flex. DeAndre Carter, Robert Woods, or Dontrell Hilliard.
I would go with Woods.
By the way, I don't think we should. I didn't say this, but Tannehill was 50-50 for tonight. So I don't know how much that matters, but I'd go with Carter. I'd just gamble on him. Dan?
Sure.
Yeah, it's close for me there. I'm looking. I think it's Carter, though. They're all kind of gambles, and Carter has the most upside.
I just got a text from my wife. OMG, you didn't move the bags.
Patterson or Jacoby Myers in flex. Jacoby, I'd go Jacoby.
Yeah, Myers.
Maybe if it were not PPR, I'd go Myers.
Slightly.
James Robinson, Brian Robinson, or Julio Jones, and where can I buy an Adam mixtape? It was weird how Jamie. It was weird how Jamie was pronouncing it, right?
Why? What did he? Yeah, what?
Mixtape. He said, "Oh, you made him a mixtape." Like that is the
instead of a mixtape.
Yes.
You got to say it quicker. Yeah. Okay, you're right. You got to say it quicker. You definitely have to say it quicker.
Oh, it's mixtape. It's not.
I was more impressed or more taken aback by how he was a little hurt by it. Jamie, he was like, you know what, Adam, I've known you for 10 years. You've never made me a mixtape.
Jamie doesn't like music. Yeah.
No.
James.
What's his favorite band? Like One Direction?
I think Dave Matthews.
Oh, that's
used to play the sax. So
I'll say this about Dave Matthews: they take a lot of hate. I don't hate him as much as everybody else does. I think Dave Matthews live is better than people think. Let me just say, there's instruments, there's a lot of jamming, there's good elements to that.
The big problem with Dave is one, his fans call him Dave.
Yeah.
2, there's a lot of hacky sacking involved at their concerts, and that's always a turnoff. And 3, the bus poop incident.
I don't know about the bus poop incident.
You don't know this story?
No,
I don't know it either.
Oh my God, Dave Matthews tour bus. I think in Chicago, they were going over a bridge and they dumped the septic tank over a bridge and it landed on a group of people.
Oh no. What the fuck?
You guys have never heard this story?
Did you just say? Did you?
No, I didn't know. I cut myself off smartly, wisely cut myself off.
Yeah, great job. And you nailed that.
It was close. No, I cut off.
Dave Matthews Band Chicago River incident.
That's amazing.
Wow. A tour on August 8th, 2004.
Wow.
A tour bus belonging to the Dave Matthews Band dumped an estimated 800 pounds, parentheses, 360 kilograms, close parentheses, of human waste from the bus's Blackwater tank through the Kinsey Street Bridge in Chicago onto the passenger sightseeing boat Chicago's Little Lake.
Oh my God.
All right. That is almost as bad.
That was alarming.
It cost them $300,000.
That's almost as bad as having to choose between these 3 running backs. Who would you go? Or these 3 players? James Robinson, Brian Robinson, or Julio Jones?
Ew. Full PPR. That makes me want to lean Julio Jones without Gage, but it's so gross. I'm going Julio Jones. I can't believe it.
Okay, I think I'll go James Robinson.
I'm going with Brian Robinson here.
Okay.
Wow, 3 different answers. That's week 9.
Yeah, let's take 14 carries for 42 yards and maybe a touchdown.
I'm gonna go with Julio Jones.
How did we get to this point with Brian Robinson where I'm touting him?
He gets 0 catches. I mean,
he's not good.
Full PPR.
But he's still a top 30 running back for me.
Well, it's a great run defense, but they are without Dalvin Tomlinson in Minnesota. So I mean, he's like a kind of a veteran guy. He's been a good player. I don't know how much of a difference he makes, but they've been a great run defense so far. Full PPR, I need 2. Khalil Herbert, Chase Claypool, DeAndre Swift, or James Conner.
We're not starting Chase Claypool.
No.
Yeah, we can't.
This is
week 9.
Conner and Herbert for me. I moved Swift down a little bit.
Okay.
I moved him down to 23.
I think I'm Swift and Herbert, but I don't feel great about it. Connor scares me this week.
Connor scares me every week. This is a tough one.
I
though.
like what I saw from the Seahawks defense, though. They're starting to play good football.
I guess I would go with Swift and Connor. Herbert, man, I mean, Herbert is so good. And he's like Tony Pollard, but worse role. And I just can't bank on him scoring like a long touchdown again. Deion Jackson, Jamal Williams, Raheem Mostert, only Antonio Gibson. Wow, only one here.
Gibson for me.
Let's see.
I guess you got me convinced a little bit on Gibson.
I'm going to Jamal Williams it.
That's where I was going. All right, I'm going to go with Jamal Williams, but Chris is making me feel.
Wait a second. I feel like I should have said Mostert here. I take it back. I'm going Mostert here.
Yeah, Mostert would be
It's a good matchup. This is
Gibson and then Mostert for me.
All right, Mostert kind of feels safer.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, pick a running back and a wide receiver. Swift or Dillon, Olave or Moore? Swift and Olave for me.
Swift. I'm so out on Dillon across the board.
Swift and Olave.
Olave or Moore. I really like DJ Moore now, but I like the matchup better with Olave, so Olave.
Okay.
Certainly not oil of Olave.
We already did this one. Would you trade? Oh, a trade question. Get back here. Trade question. Skipped on me. Would you trade DK Metcalf and David Montgomery? Didn't we answer this? Like on maybe not.
We did it on the Monday show, I think.
On Thursday, I think.
Or Thursday, not Thursday.
No, that was a question from Dick Whitman.
That's Mad Men reference.
Wow, I'm surprised you knew that you got that, Adam. That might be the first
I know Don Draper.
TV reference you've ever gotten on this show.
Oh, please.
What do you mean? Oh, please. You've never seen The Sopranos. You've never seen The Wire. You've never seen The Sopranos. You've never seen like basically anything.
I've seen The Wire.
No, you watched a few episodes and gave up on it. That's not seeing The Wire.
DK Metcalf and David Montgomery or Amon-Ra St. Brown and AJ Dillon?
I think I'm okay with that because I'm still viewing Amon-Ra St. Brown as a top 12 wide receiver in PPR the rest of the season.
Same.
And obviously, I'd rather have Montgomery than Dillon right now, but like, I still think Dillon has huge upside. And so, as long as it's not a situation where Montgomery is your RB2, I think I'm fine having Dillon and just hoping. I mean, not hoping that something happens to Jones, but having that insurance policy. That's a huge upside play on my bench.
Okay.
I gotta run, guys. But thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, you know about this.
No, I didn't know about this.
It's a little warm for a run.
Oh, well, not running. Oh, Thomas didn't tell you?
He's the worst. You know that.
I mean,
Thomas is the best. I'm the worst because I have to run. But I will say this before I run. Ham is by far and away the worst of the cold cuts, though Adam said it was the best. The poll showed the truth. People have been chiming in since that day on. So team no ham as a cold cut.
Can you
no
just
ham.
tell me 0 to 10, the mix?
Okay. Oh, the mix? No. There's a. We'll go over it on the next pod. There's a lot to say. There's the one. Though I will say the one. I'll spoil it with one comment about the mix. Adam sold this to me as like songs you'll never hear by Aerosmith, and then 4 of them were like "Dream On." It was like all the most popular ones that I've already heard, and I was like, dude, I know all these songs.
I didn't mean for it to be that way. I thought there were a bunch of several on there that you didn't know.
There were deep cuts. There were a lot of deep cuts. I just thought it was a pure deep cut mixtape, and at like 40% was like "Dream On." And I was like, I've heard "Dream On" before, Adam.
I knew that one. Like you didn't really see.
You don't know if I knew "Dream On."
All right.
But either way, there will be more on the mixtape later.
So
Thank you for putting it together.
Dan, you can go.
Yeah. Two over Fields, by the way. Go ahead, Chris.
I do have a question about the cold cuts discussion. Was this just like for sandwiches?
It was a little vague, but
because ham is a bad, like in that discussion, your typical sliced ham is pretty bad. However,
I love it.
If we're talking about a charcuterie board, and you're talking about some Serrano ham or Iberico pork, then it's very, very high.
I wasn't.
If you're talking about
ham and cheese sandwich, if
we're just talking about a ham and cheese sandwich, like that's gross.
Oh, I love it. Man.
Ham is it's like always wet for some reason. It's gross. Ham is disgusting.
Who are you sitting here? Cordero Patterson, Deion Jackson, Gabe Davis, or Josh Palmer in PPR?
I'm sitting Cordero Patterson.
Me too. Khalil Herbert or Deion Jackson, and Clyde or Patterson?
Deion Jackson, and I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire ranked just ahead of Cordero Patterson. I don't feel great about that one.
Okay. I would go Jackson and Patterson.
That's fine.
Stafford, Dalton, or Heineke?
I believe I have Stafford ranked the highest of that group.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about.
Oh no,
Stafford.
I have Dalton one spot ahead of Stafford. There we go.
Nobody talks about Stafford as being unlucky, but I think there's a little bit of bad luck so far. Just a lot of end zone targets, very few of them completed. Lowest rate.
I think it's partially just like a lot of those end zone targets are going to Allen Robinson, who I just don't think is very good. Like I think the biggest problem there is just that a complete lack of playmaking in the passing. Like if Cooper Kupp isn't 100%, I feel like that offense could be a disaster because it just, I don't know. I'd like to see them get Van Jefferson more involved, and I don't think Van Jefferson's a particularly good player.
He'll get more involved. I predict a season high in targets for Van Jefferson.
I think that's a fair prediction.
All right, we need a wide receiver and a flex. Palmer, Pittman, Boyd, and Deion Jackson.
Boyd is the way I'd go here. And then
Palmer, Jackson?
I think I go Jackson over the other wide receivers.
Okay. Khalif Raymond, Eno Benjamin, Naeem Hines. In full PPR, we need 2.
Oof. I would go with Khalif Raymond and Eno Benjamin.
Yeah.
Kind of want to avoid the Buffalo Belt backfield if I can.
Yeah. I mean, certainly Hines. I wonder about like Singletary versus Patterson and
yeah, I think that's the right range. I would probably go Singletary over Patterson, but that's less a commentary on my confidence in Singletary than just not knowing what to expect from Patterson.
Chris, pick a number between 318 and 500.
426.
I am not answering another question until we get to 426 likes.
What are we at right now?
318 likes. Let's get to it's. I know it's easy. We got 1,500 people here watching. Yeah. So we can get to 400.
We need like 7% of you to just hit this guy.
That's right. Just give us a thumbs up, hit that like button. We'd appreciate it. Adam and Chris here want to thank, what's his name? Dan. I was going to say Frank, but he's Dan, for joining us today. We want to thank all of you for joining us. We have a lovely audience. No London game. That's great. It's great to have you along with us on this Sunday morning. Thank you for making us part of your Sunday afternoon. Kickoff is coming up in a half hour, so we'll be with you for about 25 more minutes to answer your questions. Oh, 448 likes. Good. I was running out of things to say. Okay, let's go to this lower end question here. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. Zay Jones, DeAndre Carter, Hurst, and Tunyon in PPR.
Oh, gross. I would go with probably Jones over Carter.
Okay.
I do. Tunyon's tough. His lines have been really bad defensively and against tight ends. I could see Tunyon having a big game, but I would go with Jones.
How about Alec Pierce, Kadarius Toney, Paris Campbell, or Terrace Marshall? See, these are the ones that are making me feel normal today. Because I'm looking at a lineup right now. I am starting Chris Godwin, which is great. Zay Jones, Terrace Marshall, and Mac Hollins is my flex. So this is making me feel better about myself. Who would you go with? But I'm starting 3 of them. You only have to start 1, luckily. And for me, it'd be Alec Pierce.
I would go with, I think Alec Pierce is fine there.
If you want a rationale, the Patriots are giving up a lot of big plays. They don't seem to have a very good secondary. Ellinger averaged over 8 air yards per pass attempt, which is very high. It would be top 5 for a full season. So that's kind of his MO, his reputation. Pierce benefited from that. He had a 45-yard catch. So you need it to happen in 1 catch. I get that, but I'm going to go Pierce. Disagreement here.
I do want to see Toney. Like, I'm not starting him, but I've been stashing him in a few leagues, and I definitely want to see, if he can emerge from the group. I don't know what the word would be, but the just gross like 3-way split outside of Juju Smith-Schuster there.
I look, based on talent alone, he's the most talented wide receiver on the team, I think. Just raw physical skills.
Yeah.
It would kill me to see Kadarius Toney be awesome. It would kill me. But I'm rooting for. I hope it happens. I mean, I hope everybody has success, but it would be a tough pill for a Giants fan to swallow. Yeah. I'm going Lazard. Chris is going Moore.
Yep.
Dave, who are you going with, Lazard or Rondale Moore?
What's up, guys? I like Lazard a lot. Love the matchup against the Lions. Think he comes back and is immediately the number 1 receiver for Aaron Rodgers.
This is a nice surprise, Dave. So you get
Just
to weigh
Dave's
in on
floating head like the Bohemian Rhapsody video here.
you get to weigh in on a bunch of things. All right, first of all, I got this pizza here. Am I allowed to eat it on the air? Or do I have to wait until 1 o'clock?
Dude, do you want me to go upstairs and get some pizza right now and join you?
This has pesto, burrata, and prosciutto.
Oh, that is right up your alley.
It's terrific.
That is the Adam Azer pizza.
It was my favorite restaurant we went to last night.
Was that a Little Caesars pizza?
Place called Wood and Fire. If you're in Westchester, Wood and Fire, Pleasantville, or Scarsdale.
Well, I mean, you got to have pizza pregame. Little Caesars, baby.
I'm having some pizza. So let's talk to us about running back. Okay, we got the Lions. We got we actually haven't had one Deontay Foreman question, so I guess everyone's starting him. Yeah, the Lions backfield, Deion Jackson, Cordero Patterson. Let's start with those three situations and rank 4 running backs: 2 Lions, Patterson, and Deion Jackson.
I believe I have Jamal Williams ranked at the top of the group. Love that he's averaged 15 touches per game with DeAndre Swift, and they're talking about limiting DeAndre Swift even more. On top of that, he's had multiple touchdowns in 3 of the 4 games he's played with Swift. To me, it's a non-starter. He's the guy to go with from the group of 4. Patterson's up next for me. I think that Cordell Patterson fits right back into maybe 60-70% of the workload for Atlanta. I shouldn't say the workload. I should say the snaps. Let's call it 60% of the snaps for the Atlanta Falcons. They've been a good running team all year. Amazing matchup against the Chargers. He went right back into my lineups as a number 2 fantasy running back. You mentioned Deion Jackson. Who was the other running back? Because I got the brain of a goldfish. All right. Jackson's going to be next for me. And I like him just because he's got this 15-touch outlook against the Patriots. It's a challenging matchup. It's going to be hard for him to score. He's a great pass catcher out of the backfield. He's playing with a quarterback that doesn't like to throw to running backs. It's been that way for Ellinger since he was at Texas. I think the catch rate, it's in my story, my lineup decision story on the site, but it's like 14% career high in a season at college for Ellinger went to running back. So he doesn't throw to them. He didn't throw a lot to them last week. The Colts would have to put it into their game plan this week, and they might do it because they did it the last time they had Deion Jackson as their starter, and it helped them stay right there with the Jaguars and then end up beating the Jaguars in that game. But Jackson didn't have a lot to do with that. Swift is last. Makes me nervous. Don't know how much he's going to play. Don't know how effective he'll be. Feels like he's good for maybe 4 catches. All right, that's 4 fantasy points. What else you got? Does he score? The touches inside the 10 in the 4 games that Williams and Swift have played together, 11 for one of them, 2 for the other. I think you can figure out who got 11 and who got 2.
All right, let's read some questions here. We got 20 minutes left. And Dylan or Drake London, half PPR?
I'm going to take Dylan on the hunch that he kind of finds the end zone this week. I think he's got a shot.
I would go with Dylan over London, yeah.
Tommy is not going to hit like unless we answer him. All right.
We just did.
Yeah, there you go. Crispy says, with Darren Waller out, should I plug in Foster Morrow or Tyler Conklin?
I'd go Conklin.
I would too. You've seen it the last 2 weeks. Without Corey Davis there, Conklin's been seeing an uptick in targets. I think it keeps up. I like his player prop too, over 27.5 yards.
Oh, nice. Hardman or Khalif Raymond, and Mariota or Dalton?
I'm going to say Hardman, but I like that answer better in non-PPR than full PPR. It's really close in PPR. And,
I think I would go with Raymond.
I'm going to go with everybody loves Khalif Raymond.
Okay, fine. Dalton for me over Mariota.
Yep, Dalton over Mariota.
Brady or Goff?
Brady.
Tom.
Dave, I am actually going right now to my app to bet the Tyler Conklin player prop.
Tell me what it's at, because when we talked about it on the Early Edge show on Friday, it was at 27.5.
27.5 over is
still there. So they're fine with me giving the pick, but they must not be getting a lot of action on it. I think he goes over that one by halftime.
Okay, cool. I just have to do a face login here. We are logged in and we are placing the bet.
I like how the whole chat has to freeze because you want to place a bet.
Well, I want everyone else to do it too. It's the official.
Welcome to Sunday mornings.
Jamal Williams or Kenyon Drake?
I'll take Williams.
Jamal. Yeah.
Mostert, DK Metcalf, Patterson. Pick 2, half PPR.
Ooh. Mostert and DK.
I'll ride with that.
Hines or Eno Benjamin, Connor's probably not going to be out, so
Hines is going to play.
Yep, Connor.
Either. No, there's no Connor.
No, I'd go with either way. Yeah,
I think I would too. We just don't know what Hines is going to do. We know he's in uniform.
Oh, look at this. David tells me to eat it. I'm the host. Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of, have you guys, Adam, did you watch the Weird Al Yankovic movie?
Yes, I did.
That's so good.
I want to see
it. So?
What a stupid, delightful movie. I loved it.
I think it kind of fell apart, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I was shocked that Rotten Tomatoes is like 90%.
It's so good.
Even the critics score. It's the weirdest movie I've ever seen, and it's called Weird.
They had to make it weird.
It was interesting. Very genuinely autobiographical, for sure. Would you flex Isaiah Likely or Michael Pittman?
What's the format? I don't think it matters. Pittman.
Okay. Jeff Wilson, Darrell Henderson, Pacheco. We need a flex. Go Fins.
Pacheco.
I'll take Wilson.
Palmer or Jacoby Myers?
Palmer.
Myers.
All right. From Jay Sherman here. Trade Ramondre Stevenson for A.J. Brown or Jalen Waddle?
It stinks.
You see the critic? Wow.
I would not have guessed that Chris would have gotten.
Me too.
I used to watch a lot of the critic on.
Oh, it might
used to be on like Comedy Central in like the early 2000s.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Enough about that. If we knew that Harris was donezo for the year, I don't know if I would trade Ramondre for either of these guys.
Yeah, I think it's really close.
He's an illness.
I think they're all
right. So if
20.
you can get either one of them, you can.
Yeah, I think they're all top 20 flex players the rest of the season, probably. So,
boy, that's brutal. Can you just say whatever?
Probably just depends what you need.
Yeah, right. Whatever depends on what you need. Okay.
I do have Brown ranked ahead of Waddle rest of the season, though.
I do too. I would try for Brown first, Waddle next.
Interesting. Start 2.5 PPR. Montgomery, Herbert, Deion Jackson, or Cordero Patterson?
Jackson and Montgomery for me.
Patterson and Montgomery for me.
I would probably sit the Bears guys. Go Jackson and Patterson for me. I don't think we had one consensus there.
No, next one.
Jamal Williams or Gabe Davis, full PPR?
Jamal. I think it's harder in non-PPR.
I think I would probably take Gabe Davis getting more catches than Jamal Williams. I don't think it's a guarantee, though. I would go with Gabe Davis.
Sunday shows are the best. Thank you. I just got to say, I don't think I could possibly do a show where I'm just answering questions for an hour and a half. It would bore me to death. Like, we got to get a little whack.
It's your job, right? Isn't it our job to answer questions?
Yeah, but like this is always the thing with any of this, the podcast, the video shows. It's always like, the information, but also the entertainment value. It's a hang.
I would hope so.
Kyle
Pitts or Taysom Hill?
Kyle Pitts, come on.
I'd go with Pitts, especially if it's PPR.
I'd go Pitts. I'd go Hill in non-PPR. In half or full, I'd go Pitts.
No.
Dave, Likely or Pitts?
Definitely Pitts in non-PPR. I think I'd probably take Likely in full PPR.
Auden or Conklin?
Conklin.
Michael Carter, Khalil Herbert, or James Conner, PPR?
I would go Conner.
Same.
Yeah. Chicago running back or Deion Jackson?
Deion Jackson.
Okay. I just did that one. Sorry. Dylan Dobbs or Taysom Hill?
Oh, yeah.
I would go with Dylan.
I will take Taysom if non-PPR, Dobbs if full PPR.
Okay. Is this us? What a waste of time. Ouch.
No, I'm not answering that guy's question.
Hey, Patrick, hit the like button, will you? Khalil Herbert, Garrett Wilson, Kadarius Toney, or Darnell Mooney?
I will start Mooney.
Oh, PPR, right? I think I might go with Garrett Wilson.
Crap.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I exited out of something I wasn't supposed to.
Oh, no.
I thought this was just a ruse for you to eat another bite of your delicious Hazer pizza.
Starving. It's
Look, I've got some gummy bears right in front of me, and I'm holding off until the show's over.
What kind of gummy bears?
Just Dr. Snack.
What are we doing?
It's
in
a
this
prescription.
What kind of doctor?
one? Montgomery or Singletary?
Monty.
Yeah.
Chris gets a text from CVS when the gummy bears are in. Dylan Hines or Cotton?
I don't get that joke. Kate Otten.
Okay. Patrick's giving us a dislike. Did he actually hit the dislike button?
Okay. Cool. Good for you, Patrick. Congratulations on the attention.
Don't have a dislike yet, so maybe
You can't even spell ruse right, dude.
All right, Khalif Raymond, Alec Pierce, or James Robinson?
Pierce.
I would go with Pierce.
Pierce was their deep shot receiver last week. So that's one guy that Ellinger is looking for.
Half PPR, Jamal Williams, Khalil Herbert. Did we do this one? Jamal around?
No, Dion for me.
Triple A Jamal.
Eno, Connor, Algier, Michael Carter need 2. Week 9.
Connor and Carter.
I agree.
Oh, Patrick's unsubbing.
Oh no.
No, it's
Patrick,
Patrick.
No, wait, don't go.
I don't mean to bully you. I hope you are enjoying the show more. I hope you have an
I
open.
mean, I don't like him.
I would go
Bye,
with
Pat.
I would go with the Willy Wonka GIF for that one. No, stop. Wait, don't.
I don't know that one.
I will go with this one. I will go with Palmer and Kirk. Christian Kirk.
Moore and Kirk.
You're not
Marshall
loving
or Raymond?
Sorry.
Palmer. No.
Marshall or Raymond?
I
Why
think
am
I
I
would go with
blanking on the
Marshall.
Marshall?
Terrace.
I agree. Terrace Marshall.
We've been answering this one all show. I'm going likely. Chris is going Pitts, and Dave said likely in PPR. Do we sit Alvin Kamara because of the video? No, he's not going to get suspended today.
No, but it looks like it's happening.
You think so this year?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. That's why Schaefer was picking up Mark Ingram everywhere.
Well, Mark Ingram's out
Yeah.
Right, but that's
multiple
for
weeks
this
still.
We don't know.
No, he's probably still out like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's out a while. I don't even know. Pick up who? Tony Jones?
Dwayne Washington.
Wayne Washington.
Washington be the guy. Look at Thomas.
But I genuinely don't think anybody's going to be particularly good in that offense if it's not Kamara.
Oh, there's one guy who will be good.
Taysom Hill.
Well,
Taysom
Chris
Hill.
Olave, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. How about all right, we will go rapid fire here for the next 5 minutes or so. We'll catch up.
Okay. I got to run in a few, but I can say
All right.
for some rapid fire.
Dobbs, Drake, Carter.
Drake.
Juju, Foreman, Palmer, Drake. We need 2.
The first 2.
Yeah.
Fournette, Patterson, Deion Jackson, likely. Fournette? 2.5.
I'm taking
Fournette,
Patterson.
Yeah.
Patterson over Fournette, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go Fournette.
Did you hear Tom Spencer on our show today?
No.
Then I'm not even going to tell you. You need to watch Fantasy Football today.
I can't watch
Sundays. 10 a.m. He was on before your live stream started.
Oh, well,
He gave
tell
some
what
information about
what
the
did he
Bucs
say?
run game.
What did he
You
say?
might want to know.
Dave, tell the people what they need to know.
Take a look on my Twitter feed.
He thinks Rachaad White could play as much as 40% of the snaps because they want to limit Leonard Fournette's role.
And I can tell you,
Which
just from
probably
watching,
isn't that
White's been
different than
better.
how White's been used recently, I would guess.
No, but I bet he gets a little bit more going.
All right, we need 3 here.
Ooh, Higgins. For sure.
Higgins is in.
Jackson.
Davis is in.
I think I would go Davis and Jackson along with Higgins.
Yeah, I'll take, if it's PPR, I'll take Palmer over Jackson.
Are you starting Fields over Burrow?
I am.
I'm starting Burrow.
Patterson or Clyde?
Cordero.
Yeah. Actually, no. I have Clyde higher.
Yeah, I know they're like back-to-back for you or something.
Yep.
Palmer or Pittman? And Palmer or Lazard?
Pittman and Palmer.
Lazard, Palmer, Pittman.
Deion Jackson or David Montgomery? Tight end,
Montgomery.
heavy knee.
Especially if it's a touchdown heavy
touchdown,
non-PPR.
touchdown, not tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Montgomery's the better bet to score.
Tony or Jeff Wilson?
Wilson.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ryan, thank you for liking. Running back.
Yeah, I'm like that. No good, Patrick.
Who's my running backs? Kenyon Drake.
I would go with Connor.
I wouldn't. I'd go Drake.
I'm going Evan Ingram at my flex.
I'd go Connor and Drake.
Okay.
I'm with you, Adam.
Thank you, Dave. Morrow or Conklin? Oh, we already did this one.
We did Conklin. Conklin's a good PPR flex too.
Hold on, let me pause the stream so I can make another bet.
Yeah.
Palmer, Rondale, or Singletary? Who are we sitting?
Singletary.
Yeah.
Okay. Pittman or Deion Jackson?
Oh, I would go with Jackson.
Woo! I go Jackson too. Thank you for laughing. Swift, Lockett, or Palmer?
Lockett.
Lockett. Lock it up. Okay. Top two player props. Dave, you have this off the top of your head?
The over on PJ Walker's passing yards, the over on Justin Fields' rushing yards, and the Lockett over, or not Lockett, I'm sorry, Conklin over. Those are three that I really, really like.
Let's see. I have the Tyler Conklin over 27.5 yards. I have Mike Evans over 61.5 yards. Like, of course, he's going to get that, right? And I have Trevor Lawrence over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Those are
Travis, you should look up the Early Edge Player Prop Show right here on YouTube every Friday.
Very
4
good.
o'clock. It's live. It's very good. Guys who are on it that are way better than me at player props. And it's unbelievable how much we're up this year as a group.
Oh, nice. All right. Antonio Gibson or Josh Palmer in half PPR?
Palmer.
Chris is going Gibson.
Yes.
Connor or Foreman?
Deontay.
Yeah, I have Deontay ranked higher.
Dalvin Cook or Chris Godwin in full PPR? Dalvin.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook.
Do or die week. 2 running backs in a flex. Mixon, Fournette, Jamal, Deion Jackson, Rashad White. Is that Heath?
It's Heath.
Mixon and Fournette and Deion Jackson.
How's Heath feeling about that trade he just made with me?
He loves that you offered it. He ripped you off badly.
Rip me off. Come on.
He ripped you off badly.
That was a fair trade. I felt so bad about it that when I picked up Taylor Heineke to start him over Stafford today, I didn't drop Stafford, so it didn't look like I just took him as part of the deal to make it feel more even.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a fair trade. Dobbs or LGGs?
Dobbs.
Yeah, definitely.
Connor or Foreman?
Foreman. Deontay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Foreman.
Gus Edwards worth holding.
Yeah.
Like a baby. Cradle.
How about Mooney, Dobbs, or Khalil Herbert?
I will take Mooney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flex.
I'm going to hit the bricks, guys. See ya.
All right, man. Thanks, Dave. Lazard, Foreman, or Deion Jackson? No good, Patrick.
Deion. No, Foreman. That's we haven't been asked that specific one, have we?
No.
I have Foreman ahead of Deion.
I'm assuming people are starting. Let me check Deontay Foreman's.
Deontay ahead of Deion.
Yeah,
it's the Tay that makes a big difference.
91% started right now.
Feels like that could end in heartbreak. I mean, I still don't think that's a good offense, and I still don't think he's a particularly good player. But, you know.
Are you starting him over Fournette, given what Dave just told us reluctantly?
No. Fournette is still a top 10 guy for me.
Sorry about drinking, everybody. I'm going Deion Jackson over Patterson.
Yes, easily.
Full PPR.
Dobbs for me.
I'm gonna go with MVS.
Why do we hate Dobbs so much?
Well, I'm not taking last week into account because Lazard didn't play.
Sure.
So what has he done? And last week he also played a lot in the slot, but he mostly lines up outside.
Yeah, but he's still playing 90% of the snaps every week. That's the big thing for me. Is he's going to be on the field.
There are like 2 good players on the Lions defense. One of them is Aiden Hutchinson. One of them is Jeff Okudah. So if he's lining up outside, there's a decent chance, like a 50% chance he's going to see Jeff Okudah. So Okudah could shut him down. Okudah hasn't given up a touchdown all year.
Okay.
So I like MVS because the Titans are the worst big play defense in football. They give up basically the most big pass plays air yards wise. I don't feel great about it, but Dobbs to me is only a consideration if Lazard is out and he's not.
All right.
Half PPR, we need a running back and a flex.
Connor.
You do have to go Connor
and Rondale Moore. Yep.
Yeah. Deion
Go
Jackson,
Birds.
Blake.
Deion Jackson.
Yeah. Did we do this one? No. Yeah, Chris is gonna go Rondale. Yeah, I'll go Rondale here.
Yeah, Rondale. Yeah, Rondale ahead of Garrett Wilson.
Dobbs or Algier?
Dobbs.
Hilliard, Alec Pierce, or Taysom Hill, half PPR.
Pierce.
Yeah. ETN or Stevenson. Our first
So
ETN.
this is
question.
one that is really tough. I do have ETN one spot ahead of Stevenson, 6 and 7. So that's really hard.
I would go Stevenson, but yeah, that is.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Great. I don't know who you're starting over them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
That's a really tough call.
I'd start them both over Derrick Henry.
Now I have the only running backs I have ahead of either is Eckler, Kamara, Jacobs, Henry, and Mixon.
Not Aaron Jones.
Not Aaron Jones. He's right behind them.
Chad Lawrence. Half PPR, 16 teams. We need 2.
Is that a nose or is that a fleur-de-lis? Fleur-de-lis? I think it's a nose.
Where?
In the chat, in the comment.
Oh, those are noses.
Oh, they're small.
Oh, they are?
In my screen, I have a small screen, I guess. I don't know.
All right, who are we starting? 2 of these guys? I would go with Hollins. I would pick up Hollins.
I would go with Carter and McKenzie, I guess.
All right, I'd probably go Hollins and Carter. I don't know who I dropped, though. I guess I'd drop McKenzie.
Yeah. Part of why I don't want to drop any of them is just doesn't seem like it's worth the hassle.
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
Yeah, right. Because this is like, it's one of those situations where you're going to guess wrong. It's going to be.
Yeah, like it's just guessing. It's who's going to turn 5 targets into something.
I would start Everett over Pitts. Chris would not.
I have Pitts ranked ahead of Everett.
I saw, this one. MVS or Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel.
Yeah. You get his 11, 12 PPR points.
And he's been lining up in the backfield again the last couple of games. I think he had, 4 or 5 carries last week?
I think 2 weeks in a row, yeah. I think. Sit 1 in full PPR. I'm going to sit Swift.
I would probably sit Myers, but I think it's fine to sit Swift as well.
How about Dylan or Swift?
I would go with...
I go Swift.
See. I think I would go with Swift. I think.
Travis Etienne or Devontae Adams?
Devontae. Oh, no. Swift. Sorry. Etienne. I was like storing the answer to the previous question in my memory banks, and then I would go with Etienne over Devontae Adams. But
I definitely have lineups that I have neglected here. I'm freaking out at the moment, Chris. I'm sorry. Swift or Garrett Wilson?
I think I would go with Garrett Wilson. Yep.
Okay, this lineup's fine. And let's see, a couple more here. David Montgomery or Michael Pittman?
I would go with Pittman.
How about AJ Dillon, Alan Lazard, or Deion Jackson in standard scoring?
I would go with Deion Jackson.
As much as I like Lazard, I'll go with Deion Jackson in standard scoring as well. Am I starting Duvernay? I guess I'm starting Duvernay. Yuck. DeAndre Carter or Drake London?
Oh, gosh. I would go with Drake London.
And Montgomery or Drake?
I think Montgomery has the higher ceiling because of a passing game role.
I would do. Nose mistaken for Fleur-de-Lis.
I mean, that's on my time. Look, my monitor isn't so big. I've got it only on part of the screen, so it looks small.
Claypool or Foreman? Foreman. Yeah.
Foreman for sure. Yeah.
Gabe Davis, Curtis Samuel, Allen Lazard. Let's go Gabe, right?
Yeah.
Deion Jackson or Fournette?
Fournette.
And start likely over Ertz.
Likely over Ertz.
Thank you. Great show, everybody. How many likes did we get? 630. We could have done a little bit better. Try to hit the like button on your way out. We'd appreciate it. Good luck. Get a win today. And we're going to talk to you at about 8 p.m. Eastern with a recap of Sunday's action. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Dave. Thanks to Dan and Thomas Schaefer. I'm Adam. We'll talk to you later. Let's get a Week 9 win.